Welcome to week 5 of the Mustang build. It's been a couple days since I've been able to touch the Mustang, so I'm happy to get out here and work on it some more. Last week we put the fenders and the hood on and got it looking more like a car. So this week we're taking them back off. So after years of sitting in the hot sun and being opened and closed, this hood has developed a slight bow. So it is lower in the back and in the front than it is in the middle. So one thing we're going to do today is try to straighten that out. Welcome to the assembly table. As you can see, the hood is laying flat on a couple 2x4s. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some clamps and clamp down each corner and try to give just a little bit of pressure to straighten out this body line. The hood isn't too far out of shape. Just years of opening and closing and it sitting in the heat. It just got a little bit of a bow in the edges. So we're gonna try to pull that out. All right, we're gonna let this sit and bake in the sun for a while. See if we can loosen up some of that flex. All right, I've got the fenders and the hood off and I've pushed out the front of the car. And that's because today we're gonna tackle this engine bay. I'm gonna start by putting tape and barrier on the back half of the car because it's still exposed metal and I don't want it to get wet. And I'm gonna come through here with my pressure washer. We'll clean this thing out and get it looking nice. So let's get to work. All right, I've got the outside taped. Now I'm gonna get in the cab and tape off some of the holes into the firewall and we'll get to it. All right, here we are inside of the vehicle. I'm just gonna take a plastic bag here and fill the big holes and then I'll just take the tape and cover the little holes. All right, now that I've got the Mustang taped off, I'm going to hit it with some engine degreaser real fast and let that sit while I set up the pressure washer and we'll come back and clean it. Now that we're done cleaning it and it's pushed back inside, we're gonna go ahead and remove the engine mounts and the brake lines and maybe some of this other stuff that's floating around in here. We'll get rid of what we don't need for right now and we'll start cleaning it up more. So down here in the forward passenger section, we've got a 10-worm problem. I'm gonna have to get in here and take care of that before I can finish working on what I was planning on doing today. I put a wire brush on my angle grinder. I'm gonna take it down to those 10 worms and see how bad it really is. Well, it's not as bad as it appears to be. There's a little bit of a rust hole here and you can tell where the bottom of this patch panel has eaten away. Probably just get some sheet metal, cut out a little section here, probably put some rust inhibitor on this side and leave that as is. As you can see, we have a few other spots that have some surface rust on it. It's not too bad. Got a little hole there. So I'll probably come back with the wire brush and hit some of these other rusty spots and clean them up. We can come back with some primer so that they don't rust over again. So I ended up grinding off a little more paint than I expected. Not necessary because all this was rusted, but as I started, it kind of got satisfying to remove the paint. So I kind of just went with it. But I got most of the rust spots taken care of. Now we're going to go over this with a rust converter primer. And that is one whole rattle can of the rust converter. I will need to get another can because I'm gonna have to cut this area out, and so of course I'll have to redo that area. The goal was to stop any further rust, and this should suffice for now. All right, we're back at the hood. It's been sitting all day, and it's really hot to touch too. We're gonna go ahead and take the clamps off and see if we've made a difference. We really won't be able to tell if it worked well enough until we can put it back on the car. But since the fenders are off and the primer is drying, we're gonna move on to the next step of this. Today I am going to mount the GT scoop. So a quick search on the internet, I found a guide that said the back should be about 2 inches from the edge. And at 2 inches from the edge, the front should be 23 1/4. All right, I've measured, remeasured, and remeasured 12 more times. I think I finally got it perfect. I'm going to take my Sharpie, I'm gonna go around and mark where all the studs are, and we'll come back and drill the holes. All right, let's see if this works. All right, on the back of the scoop, you got plastic filler where somebody had a new studs. I need to go cut some of that off because that's preventing it from sitting flush. And there it is. I still need to get some 1/4-20 nuts and some washers to put this thing on all the way. That's starting to look like a GT scoop. All right, so where are we at? I got the engine bay cleaned up a little bit today. Didn't get as far as I wanted to because I found the rust damage. I need to fix that. Of course, I can't fix that until my welder comes, and that seems to be the big issue I'm having right now. I'm just waiting on so many things to come in order to move forward. I also got a good start on the GT hood. I've got the holes drilled and I've got the scoop installed. I still need to get the 1/4-20 nuts, put that on. I'm gonna see how flush it looks. If it needs more, I'm gonna take some automotive adhesive and I'll glue the scoop down and use the nuts to tighten it. And then when I go and body fill it, I'm gonna mold the scoop into the hood so it looks like one solid piece. And that's about as far as we got on the Mustang this week. So thanks for watching this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have a comment, leave it in the comment section, and I'll see you next Friday. I couldn't leave good enough alone, so I went and bought the hardware I need to actually put this on the hood. I'll have to take it back off again eventually so I can finish the hood, but let's go ahead and throw it on and see what it looks like. There we have it. I'm gonna have to bust out the tap and rethread some of the studs, but it's on there.